Well, hello and welcome. Today we are going to make a crescent roll Christmas tree. And I've had this idea in my head and I've seen it done on Instagram or one of those social media channels as a candy cane and other ways that the crescent roll Christmas tree has been done. But I've got a way in my head and I'm just going to try it. I haven't seen it done, and if it doesn't turn out, fine, because guess what? It's going to be the bread for our meal tonight. So we're going to experiment with this. And I've got the rolls right here. And again, I go to things in my refrigerator. I had crescent rolls. And I've got some of the ingredients. However, one ingredient that I sort of wanted to do was basil. All summer long, I've got a ton of basil, but it's winter time. The season now is fall, getting ready to be winter, and my basil plant has passed away, which is fine. One year I had one grow huge, but the one that I had in a smaller pot, so it's done its wonderful time and duty with our summer meals. So I had to think, what else can I make? What kind of pesto can I put in my Christmas tree, wreath crescent roll tree that I'm going to be making here? And then voila, rosemary. I have rosemary out in our little hobby garden. So, Core, are you ready? Let's go and get some rosemary out of the garden. Here we go. So we're heading out to the Hobbit garden. Follow me, come on. Now, you've seen this Hobbit garden a lot. I think I've shown it to you in the spring and in the summer. And this is the end of this is the fall. We haven't got to the winter yet, but this is what it looks like in the fall after the leaves have fallen. We made it to the rosemary, so I'm getting 6 to 8 sprigs here. And I like to even it out so the plants sort of stay evened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll get a few more. And here we have our rosemary. So now we have gotten our fresh rosemary from out in the garden, and we're going to just rinse it off and clean it because it's been outside. But I'll tell you what, it smells so good. We're going to take it off the stems. So we don't want the stems, we just want the rosemary, that little green pieces. So we're gonna go like so, and I could have prepped this, but I wanted you to come out and see my Hobbit garden in the fall. So I sort of just waited to get the rosemary for that. All right, so we have our rosemary, and it's about 6 to 8 sprigs. And I'm going to put this in my bowl. We're gonna muddle this. So I'm excited to do that. And so we've got our 6 to 8 sprigs, and we're going to add parsley, like probably about 1/3 of a cup to almost a cup of parsley. Now again, this is my recipe. I just sort of Googled recipes, but I am doing what I have. And I had parsley, and I have rosemary, and I have olive oil. And I'm doing 1/3 of a cup of just whatever olive oil that you have in your pantry. So we've got that there, and then we have garlic. Now you can use garlic, maybe a garlic clove, mash that up and put it in here, but I didn't have a garlic clove. I do not have a garlic clove, so I am using garlic powder, and I'm going to do just a little bit because sometimes garlic powder can be pretty strong if you don't like it, you can't take it out. And then I'm going to do about just a nice little, that might be too much. So what I'm going to do is pour some of this back in here. Maybe about just a little palm full of salt. And then we are going to muddle it. Muddle, muddle, muddle. And we are going to turn this into pesto. And this is going to be the green in our tree. Like I said, I would use basil and make a basil pesto. That would be my preference and taste. But again, if it was summer, I'd have basil everywhere. But it is fall, and I have rosemary everywhere. So we are turning this into a pesto. And you know what? I know some of the recipes don't call for this, but I want this in here, pepper. And again, I'm not a pepper fan, except for on tomatoes and in tomato soup. But it just feel like I want to put some pepper in there. Because when we eat this bread, it's not only going to look like a Christmas tree, but it's just going to taste savory, like Christmas. And the rosemary, you know what? Okay, so I did a bad thing, and that's fine. I did not chop up my rosemary like an egghead. And that's what I do. I do egghead things sometimes, like a lot of times. So what I'm going to do is this, because I don't feel like I'm going to get it done properly if I don't do this. I'm going to chop this with my knife, because that rosemary is not going to muddle. I would be here all day muddling to get the rosemary. I should have did this to begin with, but I didn't think about it. Wow, it's turning into pesto. Oh my gosh, this looks really, really good. I'm going to taste it. Let's see what we got here so far. That's good, but it needs more muddled and chopped because I want it to be more of a paste. You know what else? Okay, I might have too much olive oil in here, so guess what? I'm going to add one more thing that's green, and it's spinach leaves. This is going to be so good. Spinach leaves. So spinach leaves, rosemary, and parsley. It's green in our Christmas tree. Oh man. Oh yeah. Pesto. I might want to turn this into a pizza. That's the thing about cooking. Just basically take what you like. It doesn't have to be exact. You know, there are some things that you got to do exact. But then there's other things that, you know, if it calls for garlic and you don't like garlic, don't put it in there. Voila. Okay. So, Cora, I'm going to let you tell me what you think it needs or doesn't need, or if I need to take out some of that more of the olive oil. I like it. Awesome. Okay, so we have our green for our tree. And all right, so now, and again, this is sort of experimenting. I'm making this with you, and that's exactly what I'm doing, because this is just a thought in my head, and I'm like, you know, I'm just going to try it and wing it and see what happens. So that's what we're doing. Now the fun part, opening up a crescent roll. All right, now let me get all this skunk off of me before I move on. All right, so here we go. The fun of cracking open a popping bread thing. Let's see. Oh yes, it did it, and I didn't even have to hit it on the counter. All right. So here is our tree, our tree leaves. Other than, and that's going to be our color. This is going to be our tree base, I guess we'll call it. So I'm going to take this apart. And I'm going to leave the triangles like they are. Now this is the real test, is if my idea is going to work or not. I don't know. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, but it's already, it feels like it's getting ready to be Christmas. Everywhere we go. Take a look at the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. All right, so I don't have enough parchment paper, and I only have one sheet of parchment paper left. So part of my tree is going to be off of parchment paper, and again, it'll be all right, hopefully. I think it will be all right. All right, so here we go. Now, I need a star and a base for my tree. So I'm going to cut this right here and cut this right here. So I think I can make a star out of this. All right. So I need to make a star and a base now. So I'm just going to press this down and smash it out. So now I gotta make a star. Hopefully. Okay. So here we have a star. Oh, let me turn it the other way. Nah, it's prettier this way. There we go. So this is it so far. Now, what do I want to do now? I'm going to put my pesto first. And I'm hoping that the green will show through. That's my hopes. I want to use this all up. All right, so now I'm going to add some cheese. Now this is another thing I was thinking about. Do I want tomatoes in here or do I just want to put them on the outside? As I'm making this, I think I want to put tomatoes in here. So that's what I'm going to do. I could actually probably leave it like this because it looks like a tree and bake it. Should I, Cor? But my idea in my head is to sort of go like this and just sort of fold it in and give it more. So you'd have this section, I'd have this section, you'd have this section, or whoever wanted. And that's why I left some of these longer, the top shorter than the bottom, to give it that tree effect. So I think I'm going to do it this way. And I think, with that being said, I have a little bit of bread left here, so I am going to try to make a little square out of it. Okay. And place it down at the base. It's got a little bit of green in there, so it's really pretty. And now, so I don't have leftover tomatoes, I'm just going to place them like little bulbs on the tree. Okay, so here we have our tree before we put it in the oven. What I'm going to do, oh, I wanted to mention, this is provolone cheese. You can also, another thing, I didn't have Parmesan cheese, or I would have put Parmesan cheese in my pesto mix. That's what I would have done. And also added the provolone cheese, but I didn't have Parmesan cheese, so I left that out. I don't think we're going to miss it because that sort of tastes pretty good just like it is. So, oh Christmas tree, into the oven you go. 350 degrees for 9 to 12 minutes. Here we go. All right, it's been 9 minutes. And that looks yummy. I sort of like things less done and it's browned on the top. It looks good, so I'm going to turn that timer off. It's beautiful. And okay, so this turned out pretty much what my mind's eye saw. My star is a little messy. I probably would have made it thinner. I might have brought these out a little, made these a little more defined. But one thing, and I also would have brushed on, before I put it in the oven, olive oil just over the top. So since I didn't do that, I'm going to brush butter over it right now. Voila! Well, are you ready to take a bite? And magic cameraman, would you like a bite? This is just a cool way to take your crescent rolls or your biscuits in your oven and just make it into a what I would say a chefy kind of a meal. It's really good just from little ingredients that you have around your house: tomatoes, spinach, olive oil. So may God bless you. Have fun this holiday season. Look at your blessings. Open your refrigerator door. See all the stuff that's in there and thank the Lord that you have that. And then make something fun out of it. May God bless you, and until next video.